Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. This is Luke here from Potential Grows, your go-to spot for online boxings, reviews, and tips. Today, we're taking a look at the Grotek nutrient line, specifically the Impact line. So the Impact line is just their base nutrient. It's a two-part line. When they say two parts, yes, there's 4 bottles, but you're only using 2 at a certain stage of growth, right? So for your vegetative state, you'd be using your grow A and B. For your bloom state or flower state, you'd be using your bloom A and B. And obviously, we've got some additional bud boosters in the back over there. Taking a look at grow A, on the impact side, it's definitely looking at the NPK is definitely high on the nitrogen side. This thing does contain a lot of nitrates. On the list, as far as I can see, it's got potassium nitrate, ammonium nitrate, magnesium nitrate, calcium nitrate, as well as a lot of chelated ingredients. We got chelated EDTA, all of them are EDTA. Iron, copper, zinc, and manganese, all chelated, as well as some sodium tetraborate in here. On the grow B, we've got monopotassium phosphate, we've got potassium nitrate, monoammonium phosphate, magnesium sulfate, magnesium nitrate. We've got EDTA iron, EDTA copper, EDTA manganese, EDTA zinc, and some sodium tetraborate. So high emphasis on the EDTA, the chelated ingredients. So your plants they should not be getting any iron deficiencies, copper deficiencies, zinc deficiencies. Everything is chelated in there, ready for your plant to uptake, highly soluble. Let's take a look at the Bloom A real quick. So Bloom A, we already cutting out a lot of the nitrates that we were currently using in the Grow A. Does have nitrates in it, but a lot less. So you can see it's obviously on a 403, not a 603. We've got potassium nitrate, magnesium nitrate, and calcium nitrate. So obviously we're taking out that ammonium nitrate out on this. Does have the same chelated ingredients as well. So iron EDTA, copper EDTA, manganese, and zinc EDTA, as well as that tetraborate. On the Bloom B, we've got a 146, so high emphasis on the phosphorus and the potassium. We've got a monopotassium phosphate, potassium nitrate, magnesium sulfate, ammonium sulfate, iron EDTA, tetraborate, copper EDTA, manganese EDTA, zinc EDTA. So yeah, basically everything over here should be highly soluble, ready for your plant to uptake. There shouldn't be any nutrient lockouts or anything to that effect. Just entirely depends on how you grow, because I'm not going to say it's impossible to get a lockout or deficiency with this. Everyone grows differently. Put 10 growers in a room, they all grow differently. So that's the base nutrients out. As far as I can see, you'll only be using this in veg and only using these in flower. So you'd be cutting these 2 out in flower, you'd be cutting these 2 out in grow in veg. Let's take a look at the Monster Bloom real quick. So the Monster Bloom, you can see huge emphasis on the phosphorus and the potassium over here. This little bottle over here is going to take you a long way, that's for sure. But the Monster Bloom is there for protein and starch synthesis, stalk and stem strength, and improving sugars and starches within the plants, which I would probably say is the first point, and respiration and CO2 uptake. So it does state that Monster Bloom ingredients are sourced with quality in mind. While they are focusing on high solubility and plant availability, which is what I clearly stated on their base nutrients. They do not want any nutrients sitting out of solution that's not able to be uptaken by the plant at all. So these nutrients here should definitely work from the get-go. You should start seeing results immediately. But this is definitely an additive, and this would be more from mid to late flower. We'd be adding this in. Just want to see if there's any additionals. Yeah, so basically, this is one thing I did want to state. On the guaranteed analysis, it does say that there is phosphoric acid as well as soluble potash in here, 50% and a 30%, right? So it's phosphoric acid and potash in here. keep in mind phosphoric acid is usually used to drop your pH. So if you are sitting on a decent pH value after you've mixed your base nutrients, adding this might drop your pH a little bit. So just keep that in mind because this is derived from monopotassium phosphate. Now, with the bloom out the way, we've got the Heavy Bud Pro, which is also a ripening stage. So this is not necessarily just there as a booster. This is more for the end of your flower. We got Heavy Bud Pro, and Heavy Bud Pro is derived from potassium hydroxide, fermented molasses, and boric acid. So obviously your fermented molasses is there for your microbes. Potassium hydrate and your boric acid there. Boric acid is obviously providing the boron, and then there's 1% nitrogen in here, so a little bit of nitrogen in there. You don't want to be cutting all of your nitrogen out at the end of flower. Don't forget that the plant needs to produce still, so you don't want to be cutting everything out. Key points on the Heavy Bud Pro as well. We got 4 different carbohydrates in here. This is to provide with extra energy during rapid flower development. So this has got fructose, glucose, maltose, and cellulose. 4 different carbohydrates in here. So if you're using this, technically you shouldn't be seeing purple stems. You shouldn't be seeing your plants, or at least your microbes, starving. Your microbes should be very happy with this Heavy Bud Pro. These plant-based sugars are extracted with specific multi-stage fermentation process using sugar beet, molasses, and glucose syrup. Interesting. But yeah, this is definitely here as a late bloom ripening stage, just to keep your plants going, get that extra additional yield, that density in the plant. So I would highly recommend having this at the end of the run. So you've got your baseline. You'd be using 2 in veg, 2 in flower. With an addition of halfway through flower, you'd be adding your Monster Bloom as well as your Heavy Bud Pro. Both are in conjunction to getting that yield that you're using, max yields. We want dense colas, or whatever you're flowering. If you're looking at flowers, this doesn't necessarily have to be for our beloved cannabis plant. This can also go for other normal household plants. These nutrients are all capable of using in soilless, which would be peat and coco coir, as well as hydroponic systems. So this should not cause any blockages in your drippers or in your piping. So this is highly chelated, super strong, concentrated nutrients over here. Somewhere I did read that it doesn't contain any water, although it has to contain some water, but obviously this is highly concentrated, so you'll be using very small amounts of this in your grow. So other than that, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Hopefully you guys take a dive into this, because these nutrients are relatively cheap on the website, link down in the description below. If you have used this before, let me know how it worked for you. These are derived in Canada, so this is not like just your local brand of nutrients laying around. These guys have been around for about 20 years or so. So I would trust their judgment. They've got a lot of chelated ingredients in here, and it sounds like they know what they're talking about. Other than that, yeah, comment down below. Like I said, if you have used this, let me know how your plants came out. Is it something that you definitely use in the future, as well as what nutrients you are currently using at this very moment, because we are looking to get a whole bunch of other nutrients on the website as well. So we are looking forward to finding out what you guys use so we can stock it for you guys. Other than that, that's the end of this video in particular. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Take care, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.